Hello everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started now. Thanks for your patience and waiting. We are ready to go and so excited to be able to bring you guys this webinar today. It is full of some really great information to help you guys out, stand out above the noise in that crowded marketplace. My name is Matt Egan. I have been in sales here at Infusionsoft for the last 3.5 years. Love helping small businesses succeed, and it's my great pleasure and my honor to introduce Darnyelle Jervey to you guys. And let me tell you just a little bit about Darnyelle. Well, she loves growing businesses for one thing. And for the last 15 years, in one facet or another, she has helped thousands of companies grow. As the Chief Business Optimization Strategist and CEO of the Delaware-based business optimization consulting firm, Incredible One Enterprises LLC, she has successfully helped uncompromising entrepreneurs and business owners experience financial and spiritual abundance in their lives because of their businesses. On average, her clients have grown their businesses by 50 to 600% in 12 months or less in working with her and her team. She is a leading business optimization speaker and strategist who teaches business owners to grow their businesses by mastering brand messaging, marketing, sales, and operations so they profitably impact the world. Very cool stuff. And Jervey is an award-winning coach, speaker, consultant, and strategist whose work has been featured in Essence, Success, Black Enterprise, and O magazines. She is a best-selling author with 7 books to her credit, including her latest project, Burn the Box, 7 Firestarter Strategies Leaders Can Leverage, and Market Like a Rockstar. In 2012, she was named Coach of the Year by Stiletto Woman Media, and in 2013, she was recognized as a Small Business Champion by Small Business Trends. We are so excited for this opportunity to learn and grow from one of the best. So take it away, Darnyelle.
You know, there's nothing worse than running into a prospect out and about in your community to learn that they just hired someone else. I am so excited to be here with you. My name is Darnyelle A. Jervey, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about how to stop the problem that someone else is serving your clients. I'm literally going to share with you some amazing keys that are going to help you to rise above the noise in our very crowded marketplace. As we get started, I'm always reminded of one of my favorite quotes from Mary Kay Ash. She says, "Nothing happens until somebody sells something." And as business owners, we can certainly understand and appreciate what Mary Kay has to say. My personal take on this particular quote tweaks it just a tad. I personally believe that nothing happens until somebody serves someone. Now, I've spent the last 7.5 years working directly with uncompromising entrepreneurs and business owners, and there's one thing I know for sure. Most entrepreneurs and business owners are very challenged by selling, and that challenge puts them in a position to have someone else serving their clients. So part of what I'm here today to talk to you about is to really help you to understand that it really boils down to this. You can't serve if you can't get found. And if you're not found, you're absolutely not going to sell anything. So after I take a few moments and tell you a little bit more about me, we're going to jump into some amazing content that I've prepared for you. So first, I just want to share a little bit about my background. Probably like many of you who are participating today, my professional career started in corporate America. I actually worked for MBNA America. We were a Fortune 500 financial services company. It doesn't exist today. It was actually bought by Bank of America. But I actually cut my teeth on business and business development working there at MBNA. I worked there for 12 years, and in about 3 years' time, I did progress from representative in customer service to vice president. Had a lot of responsibility, had the opportunity to work in many different markets and really get a firm understanding of business. Until one day I was driving to work, got to the parking lot, and I had what I like to call a DMX moment. You know, it starts with that knot in the pit of your stomach that something's just not quite right, and it continued to just press me. And as I was walking into the building, it was a full-blown DMX moment. The thought that somebody might say something that would make me lose my mind up in there, is really what set me into seeing if I had what it took to be an entrepreneur. My entree into entrepreneurship actually started with Mary Kay Cosmetics. That's part of the reason why I love that Mary Kay Ash quote. I became a beauty consultant and ultimately a sales director. And as you notice in that second picture, that is me standing in front of my very first pink Cadillac, which I earned 5 months after I quit my full-time job at MBNA to be a Mary Kay Cosmetic consultant and sales director. I loved Mary Kay. It was such a great training ground for sales. So I took my business development experience and I added on top of that a tremendous amount of sales experience. And then I was courted by the SBA to run a women's business center here in Delaware where I'm located. And so for 2 years, I worked directly with women business owners and helped them to get their businesses established. And I did all of that before I started my own company, Incredible One Enterprises. I found myself at that proverbial crossroad once again and decided that sitting behind someone else's desk was just not what was made for Darnell Antoinette Jervey. And so I took that road less traveled and decided to start my own business. Incredible One Enterprises is a business optimization consulting firm. That's right, I'm leveraging my more than 15 years experience in business development and marketing and sales. And today we're working directly with entrepreneurs and small business owners and helping them to grow their businesses to the tune of 50 to 600% growth in a year or less. And that's right, you did hear me correctly, 50 to 600% growth. What our clients across every industry, I'm really excited and blessed to have been able to work with so many different types of clients. That is the type of growth they are experiencing. And I offer you the opportunity to get engaged and learn more through my community by giving you a free gift. My mother told me a very long time ago that you never go anywhere without offering something to the people who are welcoming you. So because I'm totally in love with Infusionsoft and so excited about an opportunity to participate in a way to help you to experience some level of growth in your business, I want to offer you a free gift. I recorded this audio CD, The 7 Critical Mistakes That Even Smart Entrepreneurs Must Avoid for Clients, Connection, and Cash Flow. And I have to tell you that everyone who gets their hands on this CD is beginning the process to change their business, to experience a shift in growth. And I know that because you're here with us, this is exactly what you would like to experience as well. So if you would just take a moment and go right now to bizmistakescd.com, we'll give you the opportunity to enter all of your contact information so that we can physically mail you a copy of our CD. We want you to get it, listen to me. It's more Darnell than you might be ready for, but it's also going to really shift and change your business. And then we also want you to add it to your professional library. Getting your hands on this CD is the entry point into our Incredible Factor community, where on a weekly basis I offer business building insight at every level to help to ensure that you are continuing to grow your business financially and spiritually. So now that I've gotten me out of the way, let's get all into what we're here for today. And so I want to start by helping you to understand all of the noise that is currently existing in this overcrowded marketplace where you and I live and work every single day. This, as you look on the screen, this is what's happening in a 24-hour period. 24 hours, that's right. 294 billion emails are sent. 2 million blog posts are written. 864,000 hours of video are being uploaded, and that's just to YouTube. 48 million Google searches are conducted. 2.4 million tweets are posted, and 16.4 million pieces of content are being shared on Facebook. I mean, how many of you, like me, are feeling a little inundated right now just at the thought of all the noise that's in the marketplace? And here's the crazy thing. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many new mediums being presented to us every single day that list that Digital Buzz put together is not even encompassing all of the noise that's really out there. And here's another really big myth that is contributing to the noise is you've bought into, very likely, this big misnomer that only online vehicles will lead you to your website. And so you're spending an enormous amount of time online, and it's just not converting the way that you want because everybody who's anybody who technically does the same thing that you do are competing with you for ear share in all the noise that's happening in the marketplace. And so part of my job here today is to really help you to understand that right now potential clients are looking for you. The problem is that because of all the noise, they don't know that you exist. So they've invested in themselves through someone else. And remember, there's nothing worse than running into a prospect that you've been courting for a period of time to learn that you waited just a little bit too long to get back to them, and they did, in fact, hire someone else. Here's the thing I really want you to understand is that you are way better than anyone else out there. And the only way you're going to meet them, however, is if you learn how to be positioned above the noise in order to first serve them and ultimately experience profit in your business. It's no secret. You're in business. You know this. Marketing is how you get positioned, right? I'm not talking about any kind of marketing. I'm not talking about willy-nilly marketing. Instead, I'm talking about learning how to be strategic. I want you to actually take a moment right now and in the chat, tell me what you think strategic means to you. In a few moments, I'm going to share with you a formula that I like to use and share with my clients about what it means to be strategic in your marketing efforts. And I'm here to tell you that that is the first key to really rising above the noise. So I know we're just getting started. There's a few things that I want to share with you before we jump into the content that I've prepared for you. And this is really designed to give you a better understanding of me, my vantage point, the work that I do, and how I'm going to share this information with you. The first of which is what I like to call the incredible factor. So again, I'm the CEO of a company called Incredible One Enterprises. And part of our mission and the clients that we work with, again, across industries, from solopreneurs up to businesses that have 500 employees, our customer base, we really want to help our clients and galvanize them around this thing that I call the incredible factor. It has 3 core components. I want to help you to understand them, and I'm actually going to even ask you to tell me what you feel your incredible factor is. I'm going to give you in just a moment an opportunity in the chat to actually type in your incredible factor in one sentence. So begin thinking about that while I tell you what the incredible factor is. The first component of the incredible factor is your hug, your hot, undeniable gift. It's that thing that you do that when you do it, other people praise you for it. Now, you think absolutely nothing of it because it's your gift, right? The second component is what I like to call your SBM. And no, I am not talking about a sexy black man, but I do happen to have one of those at home. I am instead talking about your signature business move. It's the way that you show up consistently for your clients that makes their results predictable. That's your signature business move. And then the third component is your unique value proposition. Again, this is a core business term, which basically means your UVP is how you are both different and compelling in today's marketplace. If you know anything about consumers, and I'm hoping you do because you work with clients, then you know that people are programmed to notice what's different. Now, I want you to think back to a time perhaps when you were working day-to-day with other people around you, and think about the one day when, we'll call her Susie, walks into the office, and while you can't determine exactly what's different about Susie, you know there is, in fact, something different about Susie. You don't know if it's that she colored her hair or she put on contacts or she wore makeup. You don't know exactly what it is, but you know that something is different. Well, here's what I need you to know. Your ideal clients are the same exact way. And if you want to rise above the noise in the marketplace, you've got to get very, very clear about your unique value proposition and how you're positioning yourself, because that is truly going to be the key to rising above that noise. Second thing that I want to make sure that we cover before we really jump into the strategies that I've prepared for you is the universal law of business. The law of business basically says this. Your goal is to get found by the people, I like to call your ideal clients your audience of one, who have the exact problem that you solve that are ready right now to pay for a solution to that problem. That's business, right? That's why we all live and breathe and make our livings every single day by looking at this law and applying it consistently. I like to remind people that the goal is that your ideal clients will find you through strategic marketing that you will deliver by rising above the noise, right? So that's really what it all boils down to. Last point that I want to make, again, before we really get to jump in, is what I call the process. The process is a 4-phase approach to what it's really going to take to build your business. The first phase is absolutely about your brand messaging, right? Brand messaging is how you get known in the marketplace. If I were to say to you, Infusionsoft, you would absolutely, unequivocally, automatically know exactly who they are and what it is that they do. Now, their name doesn't tell you who they are. It's because they've taken the time consistently in the marketplace to get known for the work that they do. And as business owners, you and I need to do exactly the same thing. This is the first part of the process. What I have found by working with so many businesses over the last 7.5 years is that we forget this part. We put our message out there once, and then we get a little unnerved when the phones don't start ringing. It is a process. It is a marathon, not a sprint, if you truly want to rise above the noise and become the obvious choice for those who have the problem that you solve. The second component of this process is marketing. Marketing is how you get found. Again, it's not about chasing clients. It's about positioning yourself in a way where they see you and they immediately begin to take action. Now, we've heard the statistics that it can take, on average, 8 to 12 attempts for someone to see you to really decide that they want to be the one that they want you to be the one that they found to solve their problem, right? So, again, it's a process. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Marketing in and of itself can take a very long time or a very short time in order to have you rising above the noise and positioning yourself to get the clients you want to serve. The third phase of the process is sales. Again, nothing happens until somebody sells something. And at the end of the day, we're all in business to make a profit. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we literally solve problems for profit, right? Then the fourth component is it's the operational infrastructure of your business. It's about creating systems and taking a systemized approach to delivering your messaging, marketing, and your sales mechanisms and your management systems so that you are fully operational and you can conduct a business that works whether you are working or not. This is literally the process that I take my clients through step by step to help them to experience that 50 to 600% growth in a very short period of time. Now, we all know that marketing is one of the hottest topics in business, right? Duh, Darnell, you don't need to tell us that. But it's also one of the most misunderstood topics in business, and here's why. Okay, I know you can't read this. I kind of put it in here on purpose. This is the more than 30 ways that any one of us business owners could be using at any particular point in time in order to market our business. Yeah, you can't see it. It's really, really challenging to understand all of the ways you could be marketing. But what's incumbent upon each and every one of us is to understand is that we are not in the business that we think we are in. We are not our job title. We are literally in the business of marketing our products and services and positioning our products and services in such a way that we literally, let me go back, we literally find the 5 to 7 ways that will work for us consistently and build systems around them so that we continue to rise above the noise, right? Because at the end of the day, we all know that if we are in business, we are marketers. But it is seldom about anything other than how we package and position what it is we bring to the table. So let's just do a quick check to make sure I've got the right people hanging out with me right now to learn more about how to stop other people from serving your clients. So you're in the right place with me if you are one of those people that only markets when you have space for new clients. Or you're marketing, but it's not getting the traction that you're really wanting to see in the marketplace. And or your idea of marketing is spending lots of hours on social media or hiring someone to do that. Now, let me just be clear. Social media is definitely very, very important to us in today's marketplace because it is a great awareness generator. It is an absolutely imperative if you want to create engagement and continue to interface and get known by your clients. But we have to call social media for what it is. And so if you're spending all of your marketing time on social media, you really are missing the mark, and that's why you're amongst the noise instead of above it. This is also for you if you have a clear strategy, you don't have a clear strategy or plan in place that is keeping your phones ringing. And on the other end of those phones are your new clients who cannot wait to work with you, right? And if you're tired of having less clients than you have bandwidth for, I want you to stick with me as we walk through what I'm going to give you. These 3 keys are pretty powerful, but also probably not rocket science, and I prefer it that way. You know, I think having a business is difficult enough, getting the systems in place in your business are challenging enough, leveraging the right strategies to get in front of clients so that you rise above the noise should be easier, and that's really what I want to help you to do. So again, we've just got to understand this, that marketing is just a conversation. When I ran the Women's Business Center here in Delaware, I did a survey, and we went out to 6,000 business owners throughout the Newcastle County in Delaware where I lived and where I was working at the time. And in conducting that survey, we got an overwhelming 95% of the people who actually participated in the survey told us that they struggled with an understanding of marketing. So as I began to create content and develop there at the Women's Business Center, and of course what I leverage in my consulting practice today, I want to help people understand that marketing literally is just a conversation. That's part of the reason why I call your ideal client your audience of one. Because if you were to consider yourself talking to one type of client who had one clear problem to which you could provide one robust solution, wouldn't that make marketing much easier for you? I'm hoping you're saying yes right now. And in fact, if you want, you can go ahead in the chat and say, yes, Darnell, I'm with you. I hear you. I know that that's exactly what I need to do. Next, I just want to share with you my definition of marketing. I think this makes it very simple and easy to understand. I believe that marketing really is about creating a very, very powerful message, and then taking that message and determining who should get it and how you're going to get it to them. And most importantly, making sure the people, the who, they're ready to make an emotional investment in it. Because we all know that as consumers, the decisions that we make, the options that we choose from, the person who ultimately gives our business is connected to us emotionally, right? So one of the keys that you want to write down right now, which is not one of the 3 keys I prepared to teach you, is that you want to make sure that the marketing messages that you create do have an emotional center, that you really are positioning yourself emotionally, and you're getting to the core of the problem that your client has so that you can really help them to understand that not only do you get it, you get them, and more importantly, you've got the solution. Now, if you want to get above that noise that's happening, again, you have to be strategic. I promised you that I would share with you my formula for how to position yourself correctly. Here it is. So it all starts, it might surprise you, but it really starts with having a bold mindset and being confident. Confident that you are the best thing since pockets for those that you serve. I can imagine you right now literally thinking about what I just said, but I want you to just think about that for a second. What would we do if we didn't have pockets, right? So think about seeing yourself as the best who ever did it in your industry, regardless of what your results might say today. That's what mindset and confidence is really all about, and that's honestly 95% of your game in marketing and positioning yourself correctly. Once you've got a bold mindset and confidence, then it's about creating a strong, compelling, and consistent brand message. Remember, brand messaging is how you become known, right? And then we take that strong, consistent brand message along with our bold mindset and confidence, and we multiply it by strategic marketing and positioning. And that's how our business rises above the noise. I mean, how many of you feel like you could just go home right now? Don't leave me just yet. I still have a lot of stuff to share with you. So in order for you to create strategic marketing and position yourself above the noise, you've got to make sure that your marketing message includes 4 things. Number 1, it needs to be experiential. What I mean by that is that from the onset of the key message, you've got to begin to create an experience for your ideal client or your end user. You want them to connect with what you're saying in such a way that it begins to move them, right? Think about when people land on your website, right? A website is very important, just so we're clear, right? When people literally land on your website, what is the experience that they're met with? Is it very easy to navigate your website, or do they have to figure out and poke and prod in order to figure out how to contact you? Is your phone number in the upper right-hand corner the first thing they see when they land on your site so that they could pick up the phone and call you? Or are they going to have to hunt around for it? What kind of experience are you creating? The second component is make sure that you have to educate them. The reason that you want to make sure that your marketing message is educational is because you have to establish your thought leadership. You have to establish that you are the expert. You are the best thing since pockets. And if you don't have knowledge, statistics, and a clear understanding backing you up from an educational vantage point, then you are already missing the mark, and your marketing message is going to fall flat and keep you amongst the noise. The third component is that your marketing message must be based on the problem or the pain. Listen, I've been marketing, for my entire career, so over 20 years, and I've been marketing, and I've tried it the warm and fuzzy way. Can I just tell you that doesn't work nearly as well as the painful way? If you really want to connect and rise above the noise, focus on the problem that you solve in your marketing messages. It's going to be a direct conduit for those that you serve. And then the last component is that it's got to be emotional. You have to hit that emotional trigger, and you've got to leverage that emotional trigger in such a way that it makes them instantly want to pay attention to everything that you're saying. When your marketing messages are experiential, educational, based on that problem or pain point, and emotional, it's going to allow you to connect with the 67% of your ideal audience that you're not reaching right now. Here's what I mean by that. So this is a typical market. So each and every one of us in our business, this is the breakdown of what our typical market looks like. We have about 3% of our list, if you will, I've got my fingers in the air quotes, that are active. They are hanging on our every word. As soon as we send an email or we comment on social media, they are liking the post or they are replying. That is our active market. They know who you are. They know what you do. They have already purchased and they plan to purchase again. 7% of your audience, of your market, is open. They're open to the possibility of hiring you in some capacity. They haven't said no, but they also haven't said yes. They're closer to becoming an active client, especially if you really hone in on the problem. 30% of your market, they're aware of what you do for the future. They're not ready just yet, which means that the universal law of business is not actively working and you should let them get themselves ready. But they are aware of you for the future. These are the types of people who will hopefully one day when their children go off to college or they finally, get that advanced degree, will actually look you up. 30% of your market is unconscious. They don't even know that you exist. And 30%, they've told you no, they're not interested. Here's where most business owners go wrong. They spend all of their time marketing to the 3% that they already have, that are already purchasing, and they spend the rest of their time marketing to the 30% that keep telling them no. But what I want you to notice in between the 3 and the 30 is that there's a juicy 67% that you really could influence with your marketing and get them to begin to see you as the solution. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that the noise is highest amongst people who are actively looking for the solution. And if you really want to impact this, then you've got to make sure that your messaging positions you above the noise. So I would love for you to take a few moments right now and in the chat, tell me how you plan to maximize your 67%. What's something you're going to do a little bit differently the next time that you position a marketing message to get the attention to those who are aware of you for the future, potentially unconscious, and open to the possibility of working with you? I can't wait to see what you post in the chat. Now, another question I have for you. Do you want to generate awareness or do you want to generate revenue, right? So here's another thing that I've noticed after 7.5 years of working with tons of business owners is that most people love to spend their time on the activities that generate awareness. Activities like blogging and social media, those things are great. They generate awareness, but they don't generate revenue. If you want to generate revenue, you need to become more strategic, as we've already determined, right? Strategic being getting out and networking, speaking, actually picking up your cell phone to do something other than text, sending targeted emails to potential prospects, leveraging your network and doing referral marketing. Those are revenue-generating activities. I've got serve calls down there, which is my version of a sales call, but it's actually positioning your come from differently so that you focus on being of service to the person on the other end of the phone instead of being the person who's just thinking about how they could possibly get another sale. It all boils down to this. You want to truly make sure that the 80-20 rule is alive in your business. What does that mean, Darnell? That means that you need to spend 80% of your time on activities that generate revenue and 20% of your time on activities that generate awareness. I won't argue with you that awareness is very, very important, right? Creates connection. It gets your messages known in the marketplace, but it is not a direct conduit to revenue. So you've got to make sure that you are balancing the amount of time that you spend generating awareness with actually following through on the awareness that you've created. And when you do that, this is what's going to start to happen. When you rise above the noise, all roads will lead to your website. So what you're doing online generating awareness and what you're doing offline generating revenue will all drive people to one of your most important sales tools, right? Over 85% of those in your market will start to seek you out when you really leverage revenue generation over awareness generation consistently with those messages that are educational, experiential, emotional, and based on a problem. So now let's jump into the 3 keys to rising above the noise. I know I've shared a lot with you already, and I just love this. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. The 3 keys to rising above the noise. First and foremost, the first key is really about making sure that you solve what I like to call a SPICE problem. SPICE is an acronym. I absolutely love acronyms. And that you build your key messages around it. Your SPICE problem is really about helping you to get to clarity. Clarity is everything. Clarity is as important as cash to your business, right? We're talking specifically about clarity of your audience of one, clarity of your messages, and clarity of how you're positioning yourself to rise above the noise. The second key is about taking it back to the old school. I'll break that down. I actually have a lot of great ideas I want to share with you about what I like to call old school marketing. And then the last key is to build a really robust referral marketing campaign. And this is one of the ways that you can absolutely use Infusionsoft to help you to build a campaign that's going to help you to stay in front of those who have worked with you and love you and have gotten amazing results so that they can position and tell others about you to help you to get more clients. All right. So remember earlier when I shared with you that I was going to give you an opportunity to share with me your incredible factor, to drill down on your core message, thinking about your hot undeniable gift, your signature business move, and most importantly, your unique value proposition. So what I want you to do is I want you right now in the chat to tell us your core brand message, right? I want you to be able to tell it to me in one sentence. In one sentence. I want to see that in the chat right now. So take a few moments, jot that down in the chat. And here's what I want you to be thinking about as you give me one sentence. And not one run-on sentence, one sentence. I know I keep saying it, but I want to drive home the point. Because here's the thing. Someone else will be serving your clients if you can't say it in one sentence. It'll also prevent you from being in demand. And that's not what we want, right? We want to make sure that we recapture the people that are currently being served by others, and we become more appealing to those who have our problem that don't know who we are yet. Something you'll want to keep in mind as you think about this entire process and the keys that I've shared with you is that people who are in pain are actively seeking a painkiller. I mean, have you ever had a killer headache? I mean, you can't think straight. Your head is hurting so badly. And as a result of having this killer headache, you are tearing the house apart looking for an aspirin, a Tylenol, an Advil, an Aleve. You name it, you'll take it. It doesn't really matter. Well, your clients are the same exact way. The people who are over it, who they've had enough, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, whatever it is that you do, they are actively seeking a solution to the challenge that they're experiencing right now. So if you want to get their attention, you have to keep in mind that people will only seek you out if your marketing message rises above the noise when they're ready to purchase the solution that you offer to them. The way that we create messages that rise above the noise is by focusing on solving a SPICE problem and using the SPICE acronym to build our marketing messages. So here's what I mean when I say SPICE problem. SPICE problem is a problem that is both specific and substantive. So it's very, very clear. Remember I talked about the importance of clarity. Very, very clear the problem that you solve. This is a very pervasive and persistent problem for your ideal client, or as I like to call your audience of one. It is something that it needs to be solved immediately, and it's insurmountable without someone's help, hopefully your help. They being your ideal client or your audience of one, are crystal clear and conscious of this problem being in existence. Remember, go back to the universal law of business. The key about the law is that they are ready to make an investment in the solution. And the only way they're going to be ready to make an investment is if they're clear and conscious. And then the E really stands for making sure that the problem that you solve is expensive, meaning that it's costing them more money the longer they go without solving the problem, and it's expansive, meaning it keeps getting bigger until you show up and save the day. That's a spice problem. Specific, substantive, pervasive, persistent, immediate, insurmountable, clear and conscious, expensive, and expansive. I have to tell you that this is such a powerful key to rising above the noise. That's why I wanted to share it with you. This is information that, honestly, I've literally only been sharing with my clients, but because I know how important it is that you get above the noise, I wanted to give you this acronym, and I want you to begin thinking about how you can really leverage this acronym in your marketing message. So a few moments ago, I literally had you put your core message right in the chat. I want you to now think about how you can leverage SPICE to enhance your core message. Take a few moments and think about that and put that in the chat. While you do so, I'm going to keep moving. Now, something else you need to know about SPICE problems is that SPICE problems really fall into 6 main categories that are very top of mind for your ideal client. And when your ideal clients are really ready to solve a problem that falls into one of these 6 categories, it's what's going to make it the easiest for you to get their attention so that you can rise above the noise. And here are the categories: identity and purpose, health and wellness, love and relationships, money, career, and business. Of course, you know, in business is really about people, process, and profit, right? Time and life balance, and sex or fulfillment. I know, but it's true. People are literally laying awake at night looking for a solution because they're feeling unfulfilled in many different ways. I want you to think about what it is that you do. And honestly, it doesn't matter what you do. If you are a painter, if you are an HVAC contractor, you help a person get time back by solving a core problem in their home. You also help them to become happier and more fulfilled where they live because now their heater is working, especially if they're on the East Coast like me. So, you know, it's really important to recognize that no matter what you do, you can fall into one of these 6 categories, right? But we're not quite done yet. The other thing you really want to do with this SPICE message so that you rise above the noise is you want to make sure that you also have a very clear motivator so that the people who have the problem that you solve will easily and effortlessly decide to say yes and purchase the solution now. So here are the 6 categories of motivation. So whatever you do, whatever you bring to the table, has to be able to do at least hit one of these categories, or all of these categories makes it even better. So if you help them make money, make space, make them more confident, relaxed, stress-free, we could go on and on and on of examples of things that we can make happen for our clients, right? If you can improve their earnings, their results, their image, their status, their relationships, their efficiencies, again, we can go on and on and on. If you can save them time, money, energy, space, effort, again, if you can reduce their investment, their effort, their worry, their expense, their risk, if you can protect their investment, themselves, their employees, their family, their property, and you can increase their happiness or fulfillment, their profit, results, confidence, so forth and so on. Increase the amount of time that they have to spend. Like, if you can do these things, then you are golden. I know this is really powerful. This is why this is the first key, because it's so important that you recognize the value of SPICE and that you apply this to your messages. One of the things that I like to do with my clients is I like to make sure that they spend some time at the onset of every new year or as they're introducing a new product or service, and they take the time to leverage how to create their key messages for that product or service that they're looking to do. It's going to be really, really important. One last key. The most well-positioned problems hit all of the categories, right? So ensure that you are positioned to rise above the noise. You want to run your problem through each of the filters. So you want to run it through the spice filter. You want to run it through the categories that people find themselves in, and you want to run it through the motivation categories. If you can hit all of them, then you are golden and you have an amazing message. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to call this guy Ernie. Ernie is a door-to-door salesman. Now it's time to talk about taking it back to the old school. Now, I'm not necessarily suggesting that you get out your glasses like Ernie and you go door to door. But what I am suggesting is that you think differently. You burn the box on the ways that you've been told you've got to market in your business. As I stated, there's over 30 ways you could be marketing at any particular point in time. And because there's so many ways you could be marketing at any particular point in time, it is incumbent upon you as a business owner to look at old school marketing as a way to really make a difference in your business. So let me ask you a question. If you had the opportunity to have a conversion rate of 1 to 3% or 20 to 30%, which would you choose? Take a moment really quickly and give me the no-brainer in the chat. I want to see you. Put it in the chat right now. I know you said you'd love to have 20 to 30% conversion rates, right? And I'm talking about conversion rates to a person going from suspect to clear prospect, because you've taken them through the pre-select process and you've really clarified that they are the right fit for what it is that you bring to the table. I'm also talking about you're literally having a conversation, a sales conversation, and 20 to 30% of them are saying yes, they want to hire you. If you're wanting 20 to 30% conversion rates, then you got to get back to the old school. Here are some of my favorite ways to leverage what I like to call, again, old school marketing. The first is the telephone. Yes, the telephone. Listen, one of the things that we do at my company is we literally call every person who requests our free CD and we welcome them to our community. What do you think that does for our ability to get people to see us as a possible solution for their business? Exactly, right? Handwritten notes, very old school. I still write handwritten notes. I absolutely love to write them. I want you, if you're going to do handwritten notes, make sure you do something in the note that really makes you stand out. I'm not going to tell you my secret, but I am going to tell you that when I send a handwritten note, it generates either an email or a phone call back to me. That's how magical it is, and you'll want to do the same thing. You want to speak, and you want to speak about whatever your niche focus is, the problem that you solve in the industry. I don't care who you are. If you are a painter, you can be getting out and you can speak about how the 5 mistakes that homeowners make when it comes time to paint. There's so many different things you could do around speaking, and speaking is definitely old school, but it also gets you the results that you're wanting. Direct mail, or as many of us like to call snail mail. Listen, it's still very effective. And as long as you don't make sure it looks like a bill, you're going to get the attention. PR and media, local marketing, we'll talk a little bit more about that because I'm literally going to go a little bit deeper on each one of these. And then you can also host education events locally. So let's jump in. So the telephone, you're going to want to create scripts. I don't care how great you are on the phone. I don't care how amazing of a salesperson you are, because we're all marketers and we're all salespeople, right? You want to have scripts. You want to take the time and run your scripts through the spice filter to make sure you're covering the key problems that your potential clients might have prior to getting on the phone. I want you to remember that 80% of sales occur between the 5th and 12th contact. Yes, most people, they stop calling after the 2nd attempt. So you want to keep going, keep calling, keep leaving messages, keep checking in. You want to keep doing it. I'm telling you, the race isn't given to the swift, it's given to the one who endures. So you want to make sure that you stay there. And you can leverage Infusionsoft to keep you focused on your follow-up. You can go in and you can create tasks on each of your contacts and actually schedule out when you should call them again, when you should send them an email, or whatever the case might be. So there are ways to really leverage the Infusionsoft tool to be able to add the value that you're wanting to add. Old school tactic number 2, handwritten notes. Again, do something that warrants a call. You want to send 5 to 10 every single week. Don't make the handwritten note about selling them something, but make sure that you have a call to action. And you can use it as a part of your, what I call your discovery session campaign to turn a lead into a client, right? So in other words, you're going to have to follow up and follow up consistently. Old school tactic number 3 is speaking. It's the number 2 way to rise above the noise. 87% of your success is tied to your ability to speak well in public, which is pretty awesome. And it showcases your expertise, and it allows you to offer a lead generation magnet. And if you follow up after you speak, you'll be surprised what happens when you really leverage the power of being face-to-face with your prospects and your leads, right? Now, business development speaking is the easiest to book. Business development speaking is you basically going out to networking groups. You're not earning a fee. You're talking to your ideal clients. So you're identifying who is putting your ideal clients in the same room, and you're going to speak to them, right? So you want to make sure you create a list of places where your ideal clients are currently gathering, and then leverage Infusionsoft by creating tags for each engagement to make your follow-up more seamless. Next up is direct mail. As long as you make sure that your mail piece doesn't look like a bill, they're likely to open it. I love leveraging direct mail to send client success stories. I like to make my letters very conversational. I love to share statistics, and I love to offer a gift so that they go online and give me their contact information. Remember, the goal is to get them into your sales cycle. I don't like to say funnel, because funnel means everything goes in and everything comes out. I'm all about building a cycle that allows you to build clients for life. And Infusionsoft is one of the great tools that can help you to do that. The next tactic is PR media. Make sure that your pitch solves a spice problem. Before you go on TV, you want to leverage Infusionsoft to make sure you have a landing page set up to capture all of those leads, and then you give the station the URL to your landing page, and you want to have your follow-up system already mapped out in Infusionsoft. PR has been really, really great for us for rising above the noise. It's amazing who's actually watching the morning shows in the morning. I know I personally don't watch them, but lots of my idle clients are, and so it's been a great equalizer to get in front of new markets. Number 6, local marketing strategy. So here's one of my favorites. I'm sharing some of my best secrets with you guys. That's how much I love Infusionsoft. I'm really excited about this opportunity. Make a list of the top 10 companies in your city. Reach out to the person in charge of community relations and talk to them about preferred vendor status. Again, I don't care what you do, maybe with the exception of if you're like me and you're a business consultant. You might not be able to go out to companies and say, hey, I want to help your people start their own businesses, unless the company has an entrepreneurial culture. But in most industries, this is something that will work. And talk to them about preferred vendor status. You want to make sure, again, that your pitch is drafted around the spice problem and the value add to employees. And again, it's going to work for most industries. Local education events is up next. I love local education events. You want to make sure that you have your lead capture system ready and in place. You want to make sure you offer networking so that it can get listed in the newspaper for free. And you want to pick a topic that really does appeal to the problems that your ideal clients are facing right now. I know I just shared 7 powerful back to the old school marketing strategies with you. I want to know which one really got you excited. So would you take a moment right now and in the chat, tell me which of the 7 you are going to look at using. There are telephone, speaking, direct mail, handwritten notes, local marketing events. Those are just some of the ones that I talked about. Which ones are you going to use? I can't wait to see when you put it in the chat. Now, our last key, we're starting to wind down. The last key is really all about the power of referral marketing. Now, I want you to keep in mind that people will work way harder for praise and recognition than they do for money. Keep that in mind, especially as you think about how you're going to build a referral marketing program without breaking the bank. Totally possible for you to be able to do that. And you have to remember that the number one way to rise above the noise is, you guessed it, referral marketing. There's nothing better than rising above the noise than having someone who's leveraged your service and got amazing results tell someone else that they should hire you. There's nothing better. This is a key that is often not showcased because so many people forget about the power of referral marketing. And so they have willy-nilly referral marketing programs. I'm suggesting that you literally formalize it. because 88% of your clients would refer people to you if you had a formalized system around it. And you can leverage a tool like Infusionsoft to really get that referral marketing information into the hands of your best clients. And you can even tell your prospects about your program prior to them becoming clients as an incentive to help them to get started in working with you in that capacity. Now, when you really set this up, there's a lot that goes along with it. You want to make sure that you create a campaign that really generates automatic emails and task reminders for anything that needs to be done offline. You want to leverage Infusionsoft in order to keep track of all of your referrals, and you want to constantly seed about your referral program like it's the best thing since Pocket as soon as you begin the process. I have to just tell you a really, really quick story. So I was working with a client. My client's name is Chris. Chris runs a IT management consulting firm, and Chris's clients are engineering firms and CPA firms and, the likes of those. And, the average client that Chris has literally comes and works with them for a period of about 12 months and spends around $100,000 with them. And Chris had hit a stumbling block. She had exhausted her network and really hadn't taken to online marketing. A lot of people are very, very nervous about going online, and especially when you look at the 1 to 3% conversion rate that typically happens online. I can understand that. And so in our first session, I helped Chris create a referral marketing program. And we literally had Chris go back to all of the clients that she had worked with, had been in business at that particular point in time for about 6.5 years, had a team of about 7 employees. And so we went back to all of the clients that she had worked with previously and told them about this brand new referral marketing program. We created an entire campaign all around it, online, offline, phone calls, handwritten notes, you name it, we did it all of the keys that I've been sharing with you throughout our time together. And we got this program in place for Chris. Remember, I said that referral marketing is the number one way to rise above the noise. Well, the results of that campaign helped for Chris to generate an additional $2.3 million in new revenue in her business. So when we're talking about rising above the noise and stopping other people from serving your clients, again, there's nothing better than having a powerful referral marketing program. I cannot tell you how much you're going to love being able to send this kind of message out to your clients and thanking them for their referral and offering them a small token of your appreciation as a result of giving you an amazing referral that is turned into a brand new client or an amazing strategic partner that will also help you to leverage your network and go beyond where you've been in that particular point in time. Now, I've shared the 3 keys with you. I want to remind you with everything that you do to make sure that you are very strategic. This is only going to work if you take the time and plan a strategy around it. And if there's a way that we can help you at Incredible One Enterprises develop that strategy, then definitely make sure that you reach out to us. I'm going to share my contact information with you shortly. So let's run through the 3 keys again. So the first key is to make sure that you solve a spice problem, right? Specific and substantive, pervasive and persistent, immediate and insurmountable, clear and conscious, expensive and expansive, right? The first key. The second key is to take it back to the old school. I shared 7 strategies with you. I'm laughing and kind of smiling a little bit because every time I kind of read that, it makes me want to dance a little jig thinking about the old school. But I'm here to tell you that old school marketing is so important. And you can leverage a tool like Infusionsoft to get your old school marketing systems all set up, which is pretty awesome and dynamic. And last but certainly not least, build a robust referral marketing campaign. The number one way to rise above the noise is by having a defined, clearly outlined, clearly communicated, clearly marketed referral marketing program that you are sharing with your current clients and previous clients so that they can help you to continue to do the work that they enjoyed by working directly with you. So I've shared a lot of great information with you, and I just want to tell you that even what I've shared with you really is the tip of the iceberg. All of this information and so much more is comprised in my brand new book, Market Like a Rock Star. I teach you my marketing rock star formula, and I give you so many amazing tips. So if you've enjoyed the keys and strategies that I've shared with you during our time together, you ain't seen nothing yet. And you can pick up your copy of our book at incredibleoneenterprises.com/author. If you go to that page, you'll have the opportunity to get a copy of our book. I will personally autograph it and get it in the mail to you. And trust me when I tell you, you're going to be so glad to add this book to your collection. It's been such an amazing experience just reading the reviews that are coming in and getting all of the thank you notes and handwritten notes I'm getting in the mail, because people are leveraging the content in this book and they're really seeing the needle move in their marketing, and they're rising above the noise, which more than anything is what I want for you. And I'd love to stay connected. Again, you've gotten the free CD by going to bizmistakescd.com, bizmistakescd.com. We'll make sure that we put that in the chat for you as well. And let's connect. So here's how you can reach me online. You can join me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or you can watch amazing business building videos where I answer questions from business owners just like you, and watch me on YouTube. I've thoroughly enjoyed sharing this amazing information with you. I'm so excited to hear your questions and how I can better support you to do the things that you want to do, and really leveraging the tools that are before you to rise above that noise and stop allowing other people to serve your clients. It's been my pleasure to share with you. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Darnielle. Really appreciate that. This is Matt again here in sales, and appreciate everybody sticking with us here in the webinar. That was just awesome. And we had, and if there was a couple people where maybe the voice wasn't matching up with the slides, not sure if that's because of the delay or the internet, but some people have requested these slides. If you opt in for that CD, Darnielle will make sure to take care of that. Now, one more really important piece before we let you guys go. We love to work with small business owners. I myself, I have worked with hundreds and thousands of small business owners in my career here, and we want to take some time with you guys to do a growth plan. Now, this free marketing growth plan is free for you. Okay, so if you opt in here and go to infusionsoft.com/DarnielleJ and you opt in there, then we're going to be able to set up a time to do a growth plan with you. Now, what is this? Well, if you've liked what you've heard today so far, but just kind of have maybe some questions about how to get this implemented, then what we want to do is take some time to understand you and your business. Okay, not make this about us and Infusionsoft and all the features of what we can do. You can go find that somewhere else. What we want to do is understand your business, your customer, your ideal customer, your brand, what are your growth goals for 2016, and then see if we can allow both of us to come together and help you develop a really strong lead magnet that will be enticing both for your target market, as well as establishing trust with those leads that you're trying to go after, and how to help you convert more customers. So you can expect that at the end of that roughly 30-minute session with us doing a growth plan, that you'll have a better idea of how to target your ideal customer, what a great lead capture magnet would be on your website to pull those leads in, using the right language to leverage the types of people that are out there that are your ideal customer, and what it takes to get them to opt in. But also kind of help you avoid some of the pitfalls that many business owners make when they're trying to attract leads and traffic and get them to actually opt in. That just happens to be what we're really, really good at. But let's make it about you and your process. So what we want to do now is, again, direct you to go to that website and register for your free growth plan, as well as for the free CD from Darnielle, and we have that link out there in the chat. Let's take some time now, and if you have any questions in the chat, we'd love to take some time for some Q&A, and both myself and Darnielle will be answering some of the questions that we have in the chat. So thanks everybody for your time today, and we're going to dive into some Q&A.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, guys. I've really enjoyed watching what you guys are saying in the chat, just kind of peeking as we've been going through the presentation. So I'm really excited for all of the great feedback. So as Matt stated, if you would like to get a copy of my slides, I'm happy to share them with you. All you'll need to do is go to my website, bizmistakescd.com, and request your free CD. We're automatically going to do an email out to everyone who requested our free CD, and we'll give you access to the slides. I know I talked fast. I was trying to cram as much content as I possibly could in, and I don't want you to miss anything. So I know you've been writing profusely, but it would be my pleasure to get a copy of the slides to you. So that answers C.L. Johnson's question. Cheryl says, how do I get PR and media to cover my story, the story of my business? So first thing I'll say, Cheryl, is that you can't make your story about you. You've got to find a spin on your story that makes it about others. So think about where the commonalities are, how you overcame, or what spice problem you're solving today. Once you have taken the time to get really, really clear about that, then you want to go out and you want to submit pitches to producers. So every television show that comes on in your local area is probably going to be the easiest place to start because it's not going to require you to travel. They accept pitches. Now, the stronger your relationship with producers, the better. So my recommendation would be that you go to the websites for the morning shows or whatever shows that you're interested in having yourself featured on. Find out who those producers are. Go to tools like LinkedIn, link in with them. Go to look at their blog and what they're writing about, make comments. Offer yourself and avail yourself to them first before you ask them to do something for you. But when it's time to submit that pitch, make sure that your pitch is relevant to something that's going on, that it is going to solve a problem that their demographic is currently and widely experiencing. So you might also want to make sure that you are watching those shows and you see what kind of people they have on there. If they have someone on there that does exactly what you do, you may want to wait a little while before you submit your pitch because they may decide that they just had someone who, referenced the same tips that you might reference, so you want to have some time in between there. And you can do this without hiring a publicist. And I apologize for anybody out there who is a publicist. I'm certainly not trying to take away from your expertise, but there are ways to get access. You've probably also heard of Help a Reporter Out, HARO.com. Peter Shankman has done a great job of galvanizing lots of journalists and the stories that they're writing and who they need, the experts like you that they need for their stories. So I would go to haro.com, HARO.com, as well as to get that. And a great book that I love, that I use, that I've learned so much from. I'm actually looking for it on my shelves. It's called PR for Everyone, and I'm trying to grab it so that I can get you the name of it. Hold on one second. Oh, I can't find it. I think her name is Christina Reeves, maybe, but if you search PR for Anyone, then you'll find a really, really great tool that you can leverage to get access to how you as an individual can get yourself some PR. So hopefully, Cheryl, that answers your question. But again, don't make it about you. Make it about how your story is going to help the multitude.
Absolutely. And I don't have a lot of other thoughts there on the PR side, as that's not my specialty. So I won't go into much more depth there. But John had kind of a little bit of a follow-up question. What are your thoughts about paying to have your story published in the local media? That kind of goes along with that. Any other thoughts along those lines?
I wouldn't do it. I don't think PR, if you're going to pay, you're going to pay for someone who has an extensive network with publishers and with media producers and personalities to get you featured, but I wouldn't pay to have somebody write a story on you.
Yeah, there's too many other easy ways to do that without having to pay, I think.
Right, exactly.
Paul West has a question that I think I can answer. He says, thanks again. What is the best system to use to set up an email capture on my website that's affordable? Great question. Depending on what your budget is, there's a lot of really great tools out there. I won't go through them all. What I would encourage you to do, Paul, is sign up for the growth plan. This is going to be an easy way for you to take a little bit of time to allow us to diagnose kind of what your needs are, what your budget is, what your audience is, what the amount of traffic you have coming into your website may help us determine what is going to be the best system to use. It may not be Infusionsoft, but you can go out and build a lot of pieces of a bicycle. You can get the handlebars, and then you can get the frame, and then you can go somewhere else and get some tires because it was cheaper there. And you can get some pedals somewhere that you found. And you go and you sit on the thing and you try to write and you go nowhere and you fall over and you wonder, why is this not working? I have all the pieces of lead capture and supposed follow-up and email engagement, but why is it not working to get me any results? And the key is because you don't have a chain for that bicycle. And I always tell people that if you want it to be automated and actually go places on that bicycle, you can go out and get all the pieces, but you need that one crucial piece to make it all work, and that is the chain. And so if you want to have lead capture alone, what are you going to do if you capture leads but you don't follow up with them? Like Darnell said earlier on in the presentation, that great, businesses can get leads, but there's a few, such a small percentage of businesses that actually follow up with their leads enough times, the 5 to 12 times, to actually convert that into a customer. So if we don't have the whole piece of the funnel, then we're probably spending money in little places here or there to get the pieces of the bicycle, but not really having that key element, the automation, which is the chain. So again, the affordable piece is crucial, but I think I would try to open up your mind to, well, affordable, but what is the return on my investment if I do this right? And so hopefully that's what we can help you determine if you go through that growth plan. Hopefully that helps.
That was the perfect analogy. And I would just say, Paul, honestly, you definitely want to look, and I know that this isn't their focus, and I would wholeheartedly say make sure that you get the marketing plan. But Infusionsoft is such a robust tool. It's like the Bentley of CRMs. And why would you, I don't think they make Yugos anymore, so hopefully I won't offend anyone. Why would you drive a Yugo for your business when you could drive a Bentley? So it's just such an amazing system. So I would highly recommend that you get the growth plan and talk with the team over there at Infusionsoft. And they can help you determine what's going to be the next and best thing for you and your business.
Okay. And then Robin, I'm just bringing in a couple more from the chat. Two things. Robin would like to know the acronym for SPICE again, and then everyone's wondering if you can put the link for the CD back in the chat so for the people that can just grab that real quick.
Absolutely. And I know I talk fast. I'm sorry, Robin. So here we go, really slow. S stands for specific and substantive. So you want to go deep with the problem. P stands for persistent and pervasive. Think like a rash. They don't just go away unless you actually apply something to them. I stands for immediate and insurmountable. That means that they needed to solve it yesterday and they can't do it without you. C is really about your client. They need to be both clear and conscious that they have the problem. Otherwise, you're going to work way too hard to try to get them to see you as the solution. And then E stands for expensive and expansive. So it's costing them more money, and it's getting bigger the longer they go without working directly with you.
Okay.
So there you have it.
And I'm going to put this into the chat. Here is the link for the CD. And there you go for everybody who's wanting to get that. Go ahead and click on that. And there it is again. See now, if we do it 5 more times, and we'll have a 60% return on that of people actually opening that up.
Oh, let's do it then.
All right. So anybody else? Any other questions? I think we've covered everything. So really, again, appreciate everybody with your attention. We've had a great turnout, and so many people have stuck on through kind of some of the Q&A here, and hopefully we can get a lot of you guys checking out that CD, checking out the marketing growth plan so that we can actually do something. Let's take action. Getting this information, starting to get the wheels turning, that's the first step. But we've got to take action, and I hope that this has been informational, informative, and something that will maybe light a spark that makes you think differently about your process and want to try something different. We really love working with small business owners and helping them succeed. It's been a pleasure being able to work with you, Darnell, and thank you so much for your time. And we will see you guys on the next one.
Sounds good. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.